have about 30 million micro enterprises in the US today. We have about 6.7% of the workforce being classified as independent contractors. And that number might be less due to misclassification, but still a formidable number. In 2017, that would have been about 10 to 12 million people. Not quite sure what it is today, probably closer to 20. As the supply chain becomes the bane of our commercial existence with no reprieve apparent in the near future, inflation becomes a staple in our lexicon. We have become personal virtual friends with the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, and most of us are learning more about economists than we want to or care to because we just want the system to be fixed. We have also become personal virtual friends with Christine Lagarde, which is the head of the central bank in Europe, the ECB, and of course, also with the Bank of England, and I believe that to be Mr. Bailey. We're all feeling the effects of inflation globally. And as we're interconnected and as we do work globally, most companies that are in the United States, a lot of them are global firms. And as such, we are all affected. Plus, we do business across the pond. It's the way of the world. There are joint ventures every day between countries, companies that is, in different countries. Micro enterprises are shouting that they're feeling the pain, but it appears no one can help or might not be listening. We read the federal minutes and every federal paper release in the last 6 months. We wonder, will micro enterprises be able to sustain themselves? They don't have in their budget a research team because they have scaled their employee pool tremendously from 5 workers to 2, a lot of them, further limiting their ability to compete and grow. The question becomes, what did micro entrepreneurs learn from their experiences during 2020, from the pandemic to the recession that occurred in 2020? If massive enterprises were shaken so quickly into the beginning of the pandemic in 2020, what can micro enterprises do to stay economically healthy this time? Let's look at some solutions. You have to take note of the behemoth of the industry in which you have your business. See if you have similar affectations beyond the size and make it work for you. In other words, you will have to find time to do some research. You have to have diversity in products. You must. It came to my attention that Amazon might be getting into actually building an actual theater, cinema. You have to diversify. Diversify your products and understand that in economic downtimes, government, healthcare, pet industry, education are some of the industries that thrive during those times. Figure out how you can, if you're not already in those industries, figure out how you can partner with or get contracts in these industries. You must have an online presence beyond a website. It simply just cannot be a website or a calling card anymore. In other words, if your product or better yet, your service needs to be in person, you have to figure out a way to at least offer some part of that consultation virtually. You have to just give access to make it easier, because this is now the way of the world. And you will lose if you're not competing in the same arena. Let's look at EV batteries. EV battery plants are popping up all over the United States. Earlier this year, Stellantis They have a joint venture with Samsung, and they plan to build one such plant in Indiana, Kokomo, Indiana. Contact them if you're able to offer a service they need. Figure out how, as a micro enterprise, you can be a part of that. They've already stated that they're hiring about 1,200 employees. If you have a business and you believe that that facility will be able to benefit by having you as a vendor, then reach out. It has been announced early enough. I take you back to the word research.